So, man, it's hot in here. Alright, what are we going to talk about today? Something else. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about my hair. I've never grown out my hair this long, and I feel like a hobo, but I'm going to shave tonight. Not my beard off, because then I've got to look like a baby face, so keep the beard. But just kind of cut it down a little bit, give it a little trim, and gonna keep growing my hair. I'm gonna braid it like Khal Drogo one day. I don't think I'll ever get that long, but I do want to let it go for a little bit. So this is the first time, I think, since early 2020 when everything went down that, you know, like the family businesses and stuff haven't been doing well, and you know, everybody took a hit, and I've been working a lot on my creative projects while I've been trying to figure out what we're going to do for an income, or just kind of waiting out the, call it, crises, and seeing about getting back to full-time position status, provision maker, money maker for my family. So that is the goal, that is the plan. Hopefully by the end of this month I'll be back there, and I'll still be able to write and create and do these YouTube channels, videos more often. So that's what I'm doing. Long hair. Yep. Alright, let's go deep, David. Because who knows, he may or may not post this, who cares? Alright, so when I was young, I used to like my time alone, and my mom helped me get that time alone. Kind of a homebody. And when I was like maybe 7 years old, 6, 7 years old, my mom and dad came home with this yard sale like treasure chest, and it was full of old Legos. This was like, I mean, Legos were, I feel like Legos never went completely out of style, but I feel like Legos were not like a big thing at that time. So as excited as I was to get new toys, which was cool. So Legos were a big part of my childhood. Building, storytelling with all the little characters missing an arm or a head, and I had to replace it with somebody else's head. And I would integrate that just like in Toy Story, where you know, he had all his different roles, and the pig was always the bad guy. What's funny is I never bought bad guy action figures, and I didn't realize like until I got older that that's kind of like a thing. You buy the whole set, but you know, when we were younger, there wasn't a lot of money to go around, so you know, that kind of stuff just didn't really happen. But I will say this, my mom and my dad, I don't know if he got a bonus or something. I think I was maybe 10 years old, maybe younger, maybe 9. And my mom comes home and she goes, for your birthday, we're going to take you to Target, and you can buy as many Batmans as you want. I was like, what? Like, that was, I'd never heard anything like that before. So we go to Target, and I get like 13 Batmans. And so we get home, and I'm excited to play with those stupid Batmans. And my mom and my dad go, hey, leave them in the car. You get to open them on your birthday, which was, I think, the next day. And so I left them in the car, and I was like super excited, just like chomping at the bit to get to those Batmans. I even think I was starting to think about how I could sneak into the van that night to get the Batmans. Okay, just so happened that Forrest Gump came out on DVD that that day. And my parents were super excited to see it. They drive their van down to, I think, the Walgreens, and my dad jumps out of the car with my mom. They don't even lock the car. They run in the store. They get the friggin' movie, and they come back out and the van's gone. A week later, they find it. It's totaled. It's in a ditch, and all my Batmans are gone. It was a sad story, and one of those memories I've never forgotten from my childhood. What's funny is with the advent of the internet, I researched when I was 22 years old, newly married, and I was like, man, I'm gonna find those Batmans. I've never had a set of Batmans. I've never been able to buy all of them, and I found them somehow. I found them. This guy had a collection of them, and I picked them up. So they're sitting in my garage. My little boys are playing with them, which is cool. I don't honestly like antique stuff. It's cool to leave it in like a case and stuff if you're wanting it as like like an heirloom, or you want it to gain value or something. I'd rather buy gold or silver or Bitcoin or something, but I feel like that kind of stuff should be enjoyed. And what's funny is there's another freaking, what's it called? Okay. So when I was like around that time, 9 years old, I was super into this show that was only on at like 5 in the morning, and it was like an anime show. It's called Ronin Warriors, and I was super into this show. I loved the show, and they had just come out with a line of Ronin Warrior action figures in the States, and I was like, I had to have them all, and I think I only got 3 or 4 of them, and I don't know whatever happened to them, but anyways, that another situation, like 2 years old, 23, and I found the whole series of Ronin Warriors, and I bought them all, and I even found the CD series that they did in English. Some of it was dubbed, and I watched it all when I got my wisdom teeth pulled. I watched the entire season in like 2.5 days. It was pretty awesome. And I got all those Ronin Warriors, and I opened them all up, and I played with them for that night. And then I was going to keep them and hold on to them for my kids. But when I got them, my oldest was like 1.5, 2 years old. Like, he was real young, 23, yeah. And, I'm like sitting there trying to play. I was too excited to have kids. Like, when Ronan was born, and, he's 3 years old, 4 years old, I'm like trying to build Legos with him, big old Legos, trying to explain things to him and show him how to do it. And he was just way too young. So now he's at that fun age of building and making up stories. And my second boy, Jaren, so it goes Ronan, Jaren, Cannon, Valen, and Tegan. They all end in EN, and they're all 2 years apart. I know it sounds confusing. All their names are close together. They have middle names after family members, so like I always tell people, like, if they really don't like their name, they can, go with their middle name. So I like their names, though, and that's why me and my wife chose them. So anyways, my oldest son's name is Ronan, after Ronin Warriors, because I love the show so much. Anyways, yeah, so I'm talking about toys today, I guess, on my drive home from work. And we all have toys. When we're kids, they're little plastic things, or BB guns, paintball guns. Paintball guns were fun. So were airsoft. A little more dangerous, but yeah. Okay, I'll leave you with this one story. My brother Mark, who is 4 years younger than me, this spell, and I must have been in junior year of high school, and we had like maybe 8 boys between me, my brothers, my cousins, and the neighbor boys, all living within a block. And so it was hangout party time every day, every night. My parents both worked, and so did theirs. So we were just kind of, after school it was fun time. And the weekends, if we weren't playing sports, it was like camping. So, paintball. We set up this little rickety fort in the backyard with 2 sides, and we had the little, the pump actions with the one shot that, you really weren't accurate past 5 feet. And I got a semi-automatic Tippmann that was top of the line probably 6 years before the year I got it. And I loaded that thing up, lit those kids up. It was me against them every time. And at the end of it, I went and got my football pads that I did not take back. I should have taken back at the end of the season. And I put them on my brother Mark, and I'm like, hey Mark, we're going to try something. I'm going to shoot the football pads, and you tell me if it hurts. I was like sitting there convincing him. I was like, hey, I'll even give you a mask and a helmet. So we fit him with the football pads, a mask, and a helmet. And then I turn over to my cousin Cartel, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to watch you shoot him with the football pads on. And I hit him right here in the chest and see if he can feel anything. And so Cartel and Mark look at each other, and then they look back at me, and it was either do what I said, or, I'd probably punch him or something. And so Mark stands there, and you don't see his face. Everything's fogged over inside of his mask. And Cartel, I line up the shot, and I'm like, all right, Cartel, all you got to do is pull the trigger. And he must have kicked back, because when he fired that thing, we both, where's the paint? There's no paint on the misfire. And we're like checking out the gun, and then I turn over and I see my brother Mark's like shaking, and I look at him, and I lift the mask, and he has this big red circle mark on his throat, and paint splattered everywhere. Somehow Cartel shot him right in the throat, and his face is just like bright red, and tears are coming out the corners of his eyes, because he doesn't know how to respond. And he's like, I knew this was going to happen somehow. That's what his face was saying. And that was right before my mom got home. And my mom got home, and I said, don't you dare tell her, or she'll take away all our paintball guns. And we wrapped everything up, and we cleaned him up, and we took off. And that was it. That was one of those paintball days. We got plenty more stories from childhood, from WrestleMania on the trampoline in the backyard to food fights around rebar pool that my parents put in when we were, I think I was 17 when that pool started going in. Before that, they had, we got one of those Doughboy pools, I think, when I was like 15 or 16. We got one of those round rubber ones you can get at like Walmart. And yeah, so we'll get to those stories soon, I'm sure. But that's enough for today. Heading home. Tired, got back to school night tonight, and I'm just looking forward to taking a shower, changing, and hopefully getting in bed early tonight. Hopefully Tegan, my youngest, she's been going through a little crying spell through the nights, and yeah, I haven't been sleeping very good the past few nights. My wife can attest to that. She hasn't been sleeping good either. Anyways, that's it. That's it for right now. Alright. Now I'm going home. Going home again. Peace. Here I'm on the road. I hate this stop sign, stop lights. Nobody ever knows who the hell's going. We need to put a traffic light up there. And yep. Alright, I'll see you guys later.